Hello, everybody.
Yo, we back, son.
Kyle and Corin, we're back from an involuntary hiatus.
We still got people fucking listening to this thing
Yeah.
on.
Oh, I think you just built up the demand for it since we
Yeah,
were gone
right.
for a while. What was it? 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that.
Something, yeah, maybe.
So yeah,
Got a
people.
little tan in the meantime.
Yeah, me too. Except you can tell the difference. Look at my arm versus my face. There's a difference. Face
So your
is
arm didn't get hit?
no arm is lighter. You can't tell. Arm is lighter
Uh,
than face. Like
a
look at
little bit.
look at
There's
the
like a
color.
light glare,
Well,
so
the
it's harder
light
to
hurts
see.
it, but that's lighter than this.
Oh yeah, my
Um,
shit. I got blazed up a lot.
you
I
did. You
mean,
didn't put on sunscreen. That's not good, man.
I'm one of those that like
Dude, that shit ages you like a
I
motherfucker.
know,
Like you don't
and I
think of
got
it
so
now, but
no.
then later on, like you'll be like 55 and you'll look in the mirror and be like, "God damn, what happened?"
Yeah, but at 55, I'm gonna be on some like I'm on my I don't give a fuck shit right now. At 55, I'm gonna be on my I don't give a fuck shit. So
Yeah,
like
but you're not gonna want to look wrinkly. Nobody wants to
that's
look
true.
wrinkly.
I did look in the mirror after I was like my face was red. Like this has gotten a little tan
Yeah,
and my
yeah,
shit
yeah.
was
Did you
sort of
peel it
red.
all? You probably peeled a little bit, right?
No, not yet.
Oh, not yet. Okay.
It might be coming. But I looked in the mirror and like this crease right here just looked diesel. And I was like, that looks a little serious. But then I was like, I've been doing it forever. Like I don't put on sunscreen. I don't take the time to put on sunscreen, and it's also hard with those like white sunscreens when you put it on and you don't have a mirror. That shit is like globbed into your beard, and
But you
there's
know what,
little like
man? It's still worth it. It's worth it in the long run, even if you got a little bit. If anything, if you don't like rub it in good enough, it just looks like a little bit of gray in your beard, which is like whatever. That's better than getting
yeah,
wrinkles and shit.
my shit gets like clustery. It looks like some cottage cheese shit. Like it looks like if you look at me, it could be like he got some shit on his face.
I've
Like it
been
could be a whitehead, it could be cottage cheese, it could be some cream cheese.
cottage cheese. I saw this one article that like really hit hard, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna wear sunscreen every time I'm out in the sun now because it was like a trucker and he drove the same route,
Hmm.
whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
and the sun was always beaming on one side of his face, and like he would drive that direction during the day and it would be at night when he comes back the other direction, so he would always get hit in the same spot with the sun. He
Hmm.
looked like legit Two-Face. Like from
Really?
here left where the sun didn't hit, he looked like he was 25 years younger. This side, wrinkly as a motherfucker. And I was like, oh, that's all I needed to see. I got it.
Damn.
You
Yeah, that's
know?
pretty scary.
But it is fucked up because you do, like, everybody looks good with a nice tan. You know what I mean?
The only thing I'm nervous about, and it that sort of scares me a little bit, like I'm not like scared of like death and all this other shit, nor like if I get a cold or something like that and going to the doctor. The only thing that scares me is like with skin cancer or with any type of cancer or something like that. Like I've seen there's celebrities I've saw do it conversations and they're like, we went to the beach and it's like go to the dermatologist if you think you have something, but it's like we have all these little spots on our bodies and stuff like that
Yeah.
that like you
Yeah.
don't know what the fuck it is. Like
Or you feel a
so
little pain and you're like, whatever, and then it goes away, but like,
yeah, or like a little
that could
bump
be
on your arm.
serious. Yeah. Like if you really
Like
checked everything, you would go be at the doctor once a week.
and that's what I'm saying.
Everybody
Like
would.
I can't when I go to the dermatologist, I think I have like some copay that's like $40 or
Yep.
and sometimes if they do some shit, then it'd be like $200 and I got to hit a minimum before I can like not pay that amount. So like a month ago, I had like this little thing on my stomach, and it sort of looked like it was like a birthmark, but I hadn't seen it before, and it itched a little bit, but like I put lotion on it, and it wasn't that bad. And I was like, this is something that like is different, you know. And I was watching something on TV today that scared the fuck out of me. There was this lady, um, who was on like a HGTV TV show or something like that, like a home improvement show, and she was just talking for the show and a doctor was watching and he noticed something like on her neck. Like every time she
Oh
spoke, there
yeah,
was
yeah,
like a,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
did
yeah,
you
yeah. I
see the
remember. I
story?
saw this story, and it was cancer. He went
It
to get
was
it checked out.
cancer.
It was cancer.
But so this lady's just talking and she just thinks, okay, yeah, when I speak, my throat, this part right here is a little, it wasn't even that noticeable,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
but this guy noticed it. So, and he was, they met today on TV and it was like the greatest thing ever or whatever. But he was saying like, we know our bodies best. So when I saw that thing on my body, I was like, this is something different. It itches a little bit.
Right.
So I went to the dermatologist for that. And the fucking dermatologist was like, yeah, it could be something. It might not be something. I was like, okay. And he was like, if we do check it, it's going to cost. I was like, how much? He was like, I don't know. It's up to insurance. Like, he didn't have any answers, so I didn't get it done. But eventually it went away. So long story short is like, that scares me the most is seeing something and not knowing if something's growing on you or something like that,
Yeah. And we all have that, man. We all have had that moment where it's like, oh, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
I got one of those things where like I have a birthmark type thing on my back, but it's like weird. It's like slightly discolored, a little maybe like 2-inch by 3-inch, slightly discolored part on my back.
Mm-hmm.
That's always been there. But like, if I don't notice a lot of shit. So like, I think I noticed that when I don't know, I was probably like 13 when I noticed it, and I was like, oh, that's weird. And like, that's the type of shit where
it could be something that might not be anything at all. But like,
smart
what are you
people,
going to go to the doctor every week?
Exactly. But you know what they say? Statistically, women get that stuff checked a lot more. Men do not. But then that actually, like, women end up, in the long run, being better off because they will nip anything in the bud. Whereas then, like my dad, he fucking, by the time he went to the hospital, he went to the emergency room and they were like, you have stage 4 cancer. He's like, oh.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I hope, like, when I get to 50 or something like that, they're like, yeah, when you were, 29, this thing was very small, and you should have took care of it then. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Well, then it's also because, like, our system's a pain in the ass. You were describing it with the fucking copay and this and that. And that's not what it's like elsewhere. In other countries, developed countries, you just go to the doctor, and then they'll fucking do their thing, and that's it. You don't have to pay.
Yeah, it's just complicated because even when I said how much will it cost, the next steps to find out what it would cost was just like I had to call a number.
Yeah, it's like you gotta fucking.
That's
exactly why health insurance companies are such bullshit, because there's deductibles, there's copays, and then they have like that. The thing that always pissed me off is that they would be like, you'd pay them however much you pay them per month for your health insurance. And then when something happens, they're like, okay, now you just have to pay the first $1,500, and then we'll pick up the... It's like, bitch, I've been paying you every month for years, and then they act like I spoke to somebody about this, and they just had the stupidest, like, apologetics for it. They're like, yeah, that's how the system works, and they look at you like you wouldn't be a good investment if they looked at you and thought, like, hey, we're going to have to pay... I'm like, shut the fuck up! I'm a person. I'm a person. I'm not a fucking... piece
just
of
a
property.
Number.
Yeah, like, so that shit is so annoying, and that's why a lot of people end up avoiding working within this system.
That's why I hate doing all that shit. I go to the dentist every year or whatever. I go to the doctor and I go to the dermatologist.
I go every other year to the dentist.
Yeah, I probably go every 4 years now to come to think of it.
I get that thing now where like I'll do some shit and then I just won't think about it ever again. And then my mom will call me and be like, you have to do this. And I'm like, Like, the other one is the AC in my place. Like, I'm like, and the guy last time he serviced it, he was like, okay, you have to get this check twice every year. And I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, like, good luck.
Like, that would feel like I call you, and then 6 months later, I would have to call him again. And it's like, that 6 months would only feel like a week later. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm going to spend my fucking time doing. I got to call the AC guy, And, like, it feels like it's such an annoying-ass waste of time. But, like, the point is there's a million things like that build up. You know what I mean? One of them being the AC shit, So
always when I go to the dentist, whenever I finish my appointment, and they always like, you finish up, you pay, whatever, you go to the front desk. They was like, oh, you want to schedule your next appointment? In like 6 months? So I'm like, yeah, sure. And then it's like 6 months later is like July, which seems so far away at that time. And then when it comes around, I'm like, fuck, I made that appointment.
And then you're like, I was just there. Like, I was just there. They send you that
text like, do you want to cancel? And I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to cancel that shit.
Yeah, 6 months. Are you fucking kidding me?
It's like when you make some plans with someone like a week out and you're feeling good. You're like, yeah, we'll chill. Yeah, whatever. We'll get some food. And then it's just like the day comes. You're like,
fuck.
Fuck, why did I tell that motherfucker that? I'm chilling right now.
Because in your head, it's like, oh, that's so far off that I don't even have to worry about it now. And then the day comes, you're like, fuck.
That's the worst feeling, man.
Yeah. Fuck,
but I don't know. That skin cancer shit scares me for real because, like, it was just, I don't even remember who the celebrity was, but he was just like, I had something on my nose, went to the dermatologist. He told me that shit was going to get real bad. So, yeah, like, when I don't wear suntan lotion, like,
my neighbor, similar thing happened. He had a bandage the other day on, and I asked him. He was like, I went to the doctor. They said it was, I guess it was skin cancer. They had to take skin off.
Do you think low key Nelly had like skin cancer on his face and he made that Band-Aid shit hot?
Nah.
What would be the reason to put a Band-Aid on your face?
The same reason they wear like a quadruple XL shirt. It's not because he's obese. It's because it's a fashion statement.
Yeah, but clothes is something that like you wear to cover your body, like, because it's just society does that shit. There is no purpose for a Band-Aid on your face.
There's no purpose for a fucking grill, but they wear grills. There's no purpose for a grill.
You could get a gold grill, and it's like showing like you're fucking like rich as fuck, like putting TVs in your rims.
And the Band-Aid shows you're hard as fuck. That's the point. The point is
no, a Band-Aid shows you're covering up some wound shit. If anything, you want to be like, here's my fucking scar.
Nah, you want to wear the Band-Aid is a fashion statement, man. I'm telling you. Seemed like I'm wearing a bracelet. Like, there's no reason for this. It's just on. The Band-Aid, he did the same shit with the Band-Aid. He was like, it's on, bitch. Say something.
But I don't know. A Band-Aid is a medical fucking thing. The Band-Aid, your bracelet doesn't serve any purpose.
It is true. You wouldn't do any other medical thing like for a fashion statement. Like, you wouldn't just walk out of your house like, yo, I got my shin brace on, son.
Yeah, like I'm not leaving a Q-tip in my ear, like because like it's fucking cool. There had to have been a reason. Someone should investigate that shit, man. Like, you don't just wake up and just be like, yo, I'm gonna throw a Band-Aid on my face and I'll make that shit hot. Because there's no fucking justification for that shit. He might have had skin cancer.
I doubt it.
Imagine he did, and it just got discovered on our show.
Imagine he like tweets me like, man, the fuck? You figured me out, bitch. Speaking of the appointments thing, I feel like I was just at the eye doctor the other day, but it wasn't. It was like over a year ago.
Same.
I have really shitty eyesight. I think most people know that, but it stayed stable for like at least 5 years, where it didn't get worse for like 5 years. But then I think it just got worse. Like, it just got worse because I noticed that my contacts now aren't as good. Like,
well, you stare at your computer screen a lot, right?
Yeah.
When you're researching and stuff like that, do you do it in the dark? Like,
probably.
If you're doing it at night or some shit like that?
Probably.
Like, I notice when I'm doing work a lot, the lights are off.
But is that true that fucks up your eyes or no?
I don't know.
Because I know that my
like
eyes, can't just be from like what I've done, because it has to be genetic, because in second grade I had to wear glasses. Second grade. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I wasn't staring at computers in first grade and shit.
That's true. But did you even know at second grade that you couldn't see, or was that just on some like?
Well, I don't know how we figured it out, but whatever. My mom was like, "What's that?" And I was like, "I can't see that shit." Like, it was obvious that I had trouble seeing long distance. It was clear.
Yeah, I'm always like curious a little bit when you see like toddlers or like cute kids wearing those small ass glasses. I'm like, how do you know those motherfuckers can't see yet? And they're not just like, their eyes have to develop.
I don't know how we initially figured out that something was off, but it became clear something was wrong when I went to the eye doctor and you do the test. And they're like,
yeah, no, of course.
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
Like,
how you initially find out.
Super young. I've seen young kids, and like, yeah, it looks cute. They wear those small ass glasses, and like their eyeballs the same size as the fucking glasses. But like, they're not fucking comprehending enough shit to go to the eye doctor and be like, I can't see that. Or like, even if they can't see it, maybe in 2 years their eyes are gonna fucking grow and they can see it, and you're fucking them up even more.
I don't know if that ever happens where they get bad and then they get better. I'm not sure if that's ever happened. That'd be amazing. I mean, obviously, if you
But I
got
mean,
LASIK eye
there's like a
surgery.
growth process. Like the fucking eye
No,
probably has
no,
to
I know,
develop.
but like if you as you grow, it doesn't necessarily go in the right direction. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you can grow, and part of the growth is your eyes are going to get shittier. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
part of growth for, and this happens with all kids. You lose your baby teeth, and then, remember that. Like,
Hmm.
hold on, let's stop and talk about that for a second. There was a portion of our lives, everybody here, listening and shit, where your teeth were baby teeth, and then they fell out, and then you grew bigger teeth. What the fuck? Like, we were all, I mean, that's some fucking weird, primitive ass shit. Like, you lose all your little teeth, they fall out, and there's blood and shit, and then the bigger ones grow. What the fuck is that, man?
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
pretty
that's some
strange.
like, that's a big reminder, like, that we're animals.
Even just your fingernails growing, like where does that come from? Like the fucking like my knuckle? There's nothing in my knuckle that looks like my
Well,
fingernail.
how
Why
does
does that
something
shit keep
heal?
growing?
Like, if you get some sort of a, like, just a minor, like, cut or something, let's say you're playing basketball and you fall on, like, concrete, yeah, like that, whatever. You scrape your knee, like, okay, you clean it out, put some ointment on it, put a little Band-Aid on it or something, and then, like, you take off the Band-Aid, and then, like, a week later, that shit is gone. It's like, wow, that's almost, like, magical.
Or even a broken leg, like your bone healing back together. Like obviously you got to put it
They
back
gotta
into
set that
place.
shit. Have you ever had a broken bone or no?
No broken
Son,
nothing. Knock on wood.
the worst. The
I can't
worst.
imagine that shit. I can't imagine just being like immobile and not being able to like open a door. Like when I fuck.
That's all right. Let everybody
When
hear
I'm
you
carrying
struggle.
grocery bags or some shit and I can't open the door, I feel like, like I'm struggling.
Have you ever had sleep paralysis?
Yes, that shit I had.
I've had that a few times. That shit is scary. That
That
shit is
shit's
scary.
scary. And then the cramp in your legs is the worst feeling. Like when you get like the diesel knot in like you ever get that in your
Yep,
calf?
I've got that before. I've
That
gotten that before.
that's like too much calcium built up or something like that.
I have no idea what causes it. You know, I looked recently at, like, a really old dude, and I
Hmm.
was like, that's gonna be me at some point. Like, that's all of us. That's gonna,
Mhm.
like, you look at somebody who's really up there in age, and it's like, you might for a split second be like, damn, like, that person could do more to get in shape and be more mobile and all this, but it's like, actually, no, at a certain point, your body's just not gonna fucking do it anymore. It's
Well,
just
you
like,
look like
nope.
Bernie Sanders or something like that, and it's like he's old as fuck. He can't really do shit. But then like he was running track, he was doing mad shit.
No,
Like he
like,
was
he's
athletic.
healthy. I'm talking about somebody who's old. Man, I guess not everybody gets to the point where they're like, kind of bent over and to have zero flexibility, and like their mind is working really slowly or whatever, but
Yeah.
but it's a lot of that stuff. Let me put it this way. In many categories, it's totally unavoidable. Like, everybody gets wrinkles, everybody gets less flexible as they grow older. I'm not sure, but there's a very high percentage of, like, dementia once people go past a certain. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's like if you get over the age of 85, it's some preposterously high percentage chance that you're going to get dementia. Like, it might even be like 50-50.
I probably have that shit now. Isn't that where you just
No,
forget
no,
things?
you don't have it now. My grandmother, one of my grandmothers obviously had it, and it's a wild thing to see, man, because she would wake up in the middle of the night at, like, 2 o'clock in the morning, and start, like, cooking, and she
Just because like they don't know what time it is,
when
they
you
just
have
have no
dementia,
concept of
you
anything.
have no concept of anything. Yeah, there were times where she woke up and she thought it was like fucking 1948 or some shit. Like,
That's wild.
no, it's bad. It's bad. Like, it can be really bad. So, but again, that point is that shit just happens. And
I mean, I think we get portions of that. I mean, like there's like we've spoken about. There's times I wake up and I'm just like, what day is it? What time is it?
yeah, but you
like
snap out of it pretty quickly. But I hear you
Yeah.
for like 30 seconds. You're like, huh?
yeah, that's the fucking dementia kicking in. It's letting you know, like, yo, this
That's
is
not
gonna be
dementia.
bad one
There's
time.
got to be another word for that. Dementia is when it's like, horrendous. And
That's got to be a fucking hilarious retirement home or old age home if they all have dementia and like one guy thinks it's 1957 and one thinks it's like 1980s and they're just all talking about shit that's going on in those years. One's like, Harry Truman's president. The other one's like, George Bush is president right now. And then it's just like they're talking about whatever, fucking Korean War or World War II.
they could make a sitcom out of that.
Oh, that would be a fucking funny sitcom.
Nah, but I don't know. Will people get pissed?
Get like Betty White.
Because you could get, people could get pissed about that. Like, oh, you're making fun of old people. It's ageism. Because people get mad about everything. So they could,
yeah, but they have shows on ABC like that show Fresh Off the Boat. If that shit isn't as racist as fuck as anything, it's just
there's
like
a show
Korean.
called Fresh Off the Boat?
Yeah, it's like all Korean family or something like that.
Oh my God. How long has this been on the air?
Like a year or 2 years, some shit like that. They're like all Asians and they work at like some Chinese restaurant or
They
some
call it Fresh Off the Boat.
shit. Yeah.
I gotta watch that show. I gotta.
Were you were you mad they took Roseanne off the air?
I don't watch it and I don't care
watch this
about
either.
her show, but I don't think they should have fired her because and it happened the day after. It's the slipperiest slippery slope of all time. Because then you had everybody saying, well, what about this thing Samantha Bee said where she called Ivanka Trump a feckless cunt? And then, ESPN or somebody hired Keith Olbermann, and then they were playing all these videos of Keith Olbermann and all the shit he said about Trump. And he did say a lot of shit that's fucked up. Like he said he's worse than Osama bin Laden or something stupid. Like, that's a stupid fucking thing to say.
Yeah.
Like, so my whole thing is you can't, like, it annoys me to no end when somebody is cool with, somebody getting fired over saying something fucked up, but then as soon as it comes for somebody they like, then they're like, whoa, let's wait a second here. And it's like, just fucking have a standard. You know what I mean? Like somebody on the CNN host, Brooke Baldwin, did this whole thing where like she thought she was being principled and high-minded and she was railing against like people who use mean words on both sides of the aisle. And so she was like, I'm against Keith Olbermann and Samantha Bee and Roseanne and Donald Trump for the things he says. And it's just like, exactly. It's like, you're not, like, you think you're being a good person. You just sound like a fucking pompous, self-righteous, virtue-signaling douche. You know what I mean? And like,
fuck that lady too for trying to be the voice of reason on that shit.
Yeah, like you're not, you're a CNN host in the middle of the day. And literally, like, not even a week earlier, there was a report that was released about Puerto Rico and how nearly 5,000 people died in that hurricane. And
they reported like 60 or something like that.
Like, Media Matter, you're right, the government only said it was 64 or something. Giant scandal. Media Matters broke it down, and it basically showed just the abysmal amount of coverage that every news outlet, did on it. And, like, but there's Brooke Baldwin railing against fucking people using mean words, and it's like, can you stop like trying to pretend like you're so righteous and actually be righteous by talking about the shit that's important? You know what I mean? And like the way these things work, man, like, okay, people are gonna be pissed at Roseanne and oh my God, look what she said. She's been saying crazy shit for fucking years.
Yeah.
That wasn't even the worst of what she said. She said so much shit that's fucked up. She believes in chemtrails and shit. She believes in every conspiracy theory. She thinks Donald Trump has been breaking up pedophile rings. She openly called for nuking a fucking college campus. Like, just, these things are just a flash in the pan. Oh, everybody's mad. And then 3 days later, everybody's like, did Roseanne say some shit about some shit? Like, so it's just everybody gets too bogged down in it. Like, I get everybody's mad. Like, what I didn't like was when people like Alex Jones tried to pretend like oh, what do you mean? It's no big deal to call a black woman Valerie Jarrett an ape, a mix between an ape and the Muslim Brotherhood. Like I didn't like.
He tried to say it was okay to say that shit,
well, he tried to act like, well, it's fine because there are people who compared like George W. Bush to looking like an ape and Donald Trump, and he was talking about how I look like an ape, and it's like, well, stop! You're being dense to the historical context on purpose. Like, it's obvious that they use blackface in fucking minstrel shows to dehumanize black people, and they comparing black people to apes is a historical thing, especially in the United States, to try to dehumanize black people. So stop trying to pretend like it's the exact same thing. It's not. Now, I'm not saying that in no context is it okay to joke, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that's not okay, but just at least be honest that there's a difference. But he wasn't being honest that there's a difference. So people piss me off about pretty much on every side of this. But yeah, ultimately I wouldn't have fired her because
it seemed like they, even though the ratings were doing well, it seems like they wanted a reason to get rid of her.
That's what it seems like, you know? I mean, because again, you could have taken any of the fucking things she had said. Since the show started, she's been tweeting crazy shit.
And even the show itself, I think they talk about Trump issues and all this stuff.
Well, so that's the other thing that I couldn't get over. It's like her character on the show was supposed to be really pro-Trump. And then, yeah, exactly.
It's almost like there could have been an episode of her saying something racist, and that's what they were talking about. And then it was just like, that would have been fine. You know, it would have been like, oh, that's the new Roseanne. It's like she's saying controversial shit, and people are talking about her. But she did it in real life.
Yeah, like in real life, the problem was she ended up acting too much like a hardcore Trump supporter. Like, that's what it was. In real life, she was tweeting some shit that hardcore Trump supporters were like, fuck yeah. And they're like, I can't believe it fired. It's just, and then it feeds into the victim complex, too. Like, the victim complex that somehow right-wingers are, like, oppressed. And it's like, no, they have the White House, Donald Trump. They have the Senate. They have the House of Representatives. They have most governors across the country. They have most state legislatures. They're controlling every level of government. But now, because, you know, in the culture wars, you had the Republicans getting fucking knocked down a peg, but the firing of Roseanne. Now they're going to spin it as if, like, oh my goodness, we're so victimized and we're so oppressed. And I do think that ends up firing up, like, that base of people more. To get even more politically involved and probably go vote and stuff. And it's like, just fucking, who gives a shit? It's just a
dumb
man?
base. I mean, they're geniuses at the top to really cater to the dumb people. And just like, whatever topic that's going on, they spin it in a way to rile people up. Like the whole fucking Philadelphia Eagles, like kneeling shit. It's like, that's not why they're not going to the White House. You know, like it's not about the anthem. But they make it about that shit, and they just bring it back to what people want to hear.
It's so fucking dirty. It's so dirty. Because it's just anybody who pays attention even a little bit and tries to objectively, like, figure out what's going on, you would learn right away. It's not like everybody who's kneeling is like, I hate the United States of America. Fuck the United States of America. Yeah. No, they're like, hey, I want to shine light on the issue of police brutality, you know? And it's like, and I've always said, you don't even necessarily have to agree with them on that issue, but at least acknowledge that that's the issue in question here, and the issue is not like they hate America. And
it's such a simple concept. It's just so simple.
I know, but
like
that's the thing.
They're not doing this for this.
They straw man their opponents because that's the only way that they could win the argument. So it's like, let's just pretend that they hate America, and then it's easy to dismiss them. And the did you see what Trump did today? This is one of the things I wanted to talk about. He did, instead of having...
God bless America thing?
Yeah. First of all, a lot of the Eagles canceled going to the White House first. And then Trump said, like, I've disinvited them. And it's like...
now you can't go. He did that with the Warriors.
Yeah, it's like they already said they didn't really want to go. So, what? Like, that's like, you're acting like a child. And then he decided instead to do a Celebration of America event where, by the way, they said, like, you know... There were going to be a lot of Eagles fans or whatever there. The reporters who were there said they saw staffers from the White House that had on, like, their credentials and shit. So they basically cleared out the White House, and those people pretended to be, like, in the audience. And there were reporters asking everybody, like, who the quarterback is for the Eagles, and nobody knew it. And it's like, so this is just a fucking, like, why are you even bothering to do this weird, like, prop fake-ass event? And then, of course, the thing that made headlines was that at this event, to celebrate how much, Donald Trump is patriotic, he forgot the words to God Bless America.
That was bad.
They was like zoomed in on his mouth. Like, and it was kind of obvious that he forgot it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I don't think there's a charitable reading of that. That's like, oh, he just decided not to sing for that little part. You know what I mean?
I think I know the shit. I mean, I could definitely get it if the song was on and I had to sing it, but like to write it out or some shit.
It's so weird to
just
Like,
fantasize over a song.
yeah, going to baseball games, I always thought was weird too because of the fucking weird ass patriotic shit. Like in the middle of
Hmm.
the game, right? The seventh inning
Yeah.
stretch, and they play
Yeah.
like,
Hmm.
and I always
Well, they
was
do the
like,
national anthem before the game.
oh, national
They
anthem
do
before the game.
God Bless America like at the seventh inning stretch.
Yeah, the last time I was at a baseball game and that they did the God Bless America shit, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I just
And
want to
then
watch the fucking baseball game.
depending on where you are, the more like naval basey places like a Charlotte or something like that, you'll get like two or three, throughout the games, honoring this
Oh
hero or
my
walk out to the
god.
court and this guy, is a silver star and great for them. But it's like I went to the basketball game to watch a basketball game. If I wanted to like celebrate soldiers and do all this shit, I would have went to some like military base or something like that. Like
And then
they forced that on you, so then they could have this bigger picture where it's just like, oh, you're not standing for the anthem, dude, get the fuck out of here.
no,
And
and
it's
then if somebody like you or me is like, "Hey, how about we just go back to only having the baseball game?" They'd be like, "How dare you? What an offensive thing to fucking say."
dude, Bill, when we went to California, Bill Burr had me dying because he was like, his stand up bit was. He's like, I go to a sporting game and I get my nachos, I get my beer, I get everything, and I'm fully loaded. And I go to sit down and eat it, and then it's God Bless America. And then shit, if I don't stand up, everybody's looking at me, but I got all this fucking food on my thing. He was hilarious about that shit, had me dying. Because it's so true. It's like you get your fucking chicken tenders, nachos, and all this shit, and then it's just like you gotta stand up for the flag, you gotta stand up for the military guy, you gotta stand up for some fucking guy who ran into a burning building. And it's just like what are we doing here? Are we watching football or are we fucking just celebrating every fucking person?
You just gave me flashbacks to not baseball games I've been to, but hockey games I've been to.
Mm-hmm.
And I always randomly liked the pizza at Madison Square Garden. I don't remember what it is. Did they have a
I think
specific?
it's Sabaros.
No, it would not. I'm talking
No?
about the little personal shits.
Oh, no. They have, I think, Familias or some shit like that.
It might
Is
be that.
possible?
I don't know what it is, but I always liked the
I could
pizza
just
there.
name and mad shit. If you told me some other shit, I'll probably be like, yeah, that's it.
It was good. It was good, whatever the fuck it was. But I always was like, I never got on that line. There's no good time to get on that line.
No.
Because the line, it doesn't matter when you go to it. You're always going to be waiting for a while. And then whenever you're waiting on that line, you're like, I got to hurry up here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's
It
no
does-
winning in that situation.
You have a little advantage of being a man going to the bathroom because there's tons of times I go to sporting events and the women's line is just OD.
Yeah, because
And I sort of
urinals,
feel
boom,
guilty.
in, out.
Yeah, it's just like, boom, take a piss, get out, say what's up to a dude, like whatever. But I went to, like, Yankee Stadium's cool. They have urinals. But the first game I went to at Wrigley Field, it's super old school. So they just have one, like,
Yeah.
it's called a trough or some
Yeah.
shit. And
That-
you all just stand at that shit and just pee in it. And that shit is grimy as fuck.
Yeah, like I was just about to ask you about like bathroom decorum. First of all, how often have you walked into a bathroom and somebody's just lighting it up taking a shit, a public bathroom?
Fairly often.
Fairly often? What
Yeah, I mean, like
what percentage of the time would you say that happens?
nah, actually, no, I take that back. Probably like 18%.
18% of the time.
Yeah.
And you're talking like you walk in and does the stink hit you or do the sounds hit you?
No, the sound, because the sound is more memorable. Like, I don't know exact memories, but I can remember going to a rest stop and someone just killing it in there, and I'm just like, good for him.
And
Like,
all
good for
just
him.
all levels, all pitches of farts just fucking
Yeah, just every
reverberating
note on
off the
fucking like whatever musical scale.
Man, they
Just going
got
to
it.
town.
Like, why can't they just go a little further with the bathrooms? Like, why have the fucking stalls enclosed? Just take it to the ceiling and take it to the ground, and make box in the stall. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do you have to have an open bottom and an open top? That just
Yeah.
why are you doing that?
The worst shit is though, like when the floors are super clean, and it's like a clear floor, and you could see on the reflection of the floor like the person in the stall next to you. Because you're trying to look down at your phone or some shit, but like you could see the reflection off the floor of the person's right.
That design is on purpose, and it was made by some creeper. That's what that is
Yeah.
right there. Have you ever had I've had dudes try to say shit to me while I'm at the urinal, and I'm just like, nah.
Yeah, that happens at the bar a lot.
And
At work, it's weird because it's like the people, and you talk to them about some work shit, but then both of your dicks are out. Like
yeah. And you have and like they always initiate it too. Like they always start talking because you're not
Yep.
gonna talk. You're just gonna pee. They'll start talking, and then you have to act like it's not annoying
like,
or weird.
You have to overact that like, hey, I'm not looking at your dick. I'm really looking at the wall, but I'm not trying to be disrespectful and not like sort of like giving you some of my head at least to like talk to you.
Oh, I don't even do the look over. I just look at the wall and respond. I don't do the fucking. I don't even play with that shit. I'll just
That could be another sitcom of just people going to urinals and talking to the wall.
Yeah, like I never turn my head to talk, and I always have to try to force myself to not sound like I'm like, leave me alone right now. Like,
No, but the worst is
man,
though,
cool.
when you both get to the urinal, say you get to the same time, and you can't fire right away, like
Oh,
then
that happens to me so much. Like, I'll go to pee, and there'll be people behind me waiting. I'll go to pee, and I stand there. I'm like, what the fuck? I just had to piss. And I'm like, come on, come on, come on. And then it's like,
it starts sprinkling.
oh,
but you
the
want to make
sprinkles
sure
at
that
the beginning is always the worst. It's like, I'm trying to give me a powerful stream here, son.
And even if you get a little bit of stream, but there's not that much more
You gotta
firepower
keep
to
pushing,
it,
and then you gotta maybe not
Yeah.
fart or some shit.
but you aim it onto the little water in the toilet to
make
let
the
them know,
noise.
like, yes, like, yo, I got you. I am peeing for a reason. I'm not just here to be here. That's the work one because it's like that. Then it's just like, yo, did you just come to the bathroom to kill time? And it's like, no. You hear the noise, motherfucker.
And what's the decorum if somebody's at the urinal? I've heard at like in a game, somebody start pissing and then just rip ass, and I'm like, nah, like you gotta have there's a little bit of decorum going on at the urinal situation. Like if you start peeing and then, like if you let it slip out, everybody's gonna forgive you. But if you just like straight up fucking rip it and you're ripping it on purpose, it's like semi fuck you, man. Like semi fuck you. Everybody see you're pissing.
Oh, so you're mad at the person that could just fire away?
Yeah, if it slips out, okay. But if you're at the urinal and you're pissing and you're just like lifting your leg and shit, it's like no, don't fucking do that.
So you think the urinal man should have went to the stall with that one?
Yeah, dude, there's something.
Yeah, the fart urinal is a little disrespectful. That's a little like,
That's super disrespectful.
hey, save it for the stall.
Yeah, and that's the more offensive thing to me too. Is if you walk in and it's you smell like somebody's shit and you're like, that is literally particles that just came out of somebody's asshole that just got in my nose.
Yeah,
Like this is fucked up. Public bathrooms are the worst, man. They're the fucking
they are bad.
worst.
They are bad. Bars. I'm more okay with a conversation because it's like you all have the same goal in mind. We're here either because we really got to piss, or we just want to take a break and walk away to the bathroom real quick or something like that.
I think the reason you feel that way is because you probably buzzed by the time you're pissing. That you're like,
That's
I don't
true.
give a fuck.
That's true.
I could see myself not caring as much if I'm a little buzzed and I'm pissing and somebody starts talking to me. I wouldn't be as pissed.
Yeah.
Except like,
Yeah. 'Cause
whatever.
they're like, oh, chicks out here, okay. DJ's good, and you're just like, yeah, it's good music.
Yeah, you're not gonna have to fucking force the. Okay.
I guess so.
Yeah, there's thankfully I don't have to go into public bathrooms like that often.
Yeah, I mean, like, the ones that creep me out a little bit are, I don't know if you've ever seen this. It's a one-person, well, I think it's a one-person bathroom, but there's a urinal on the side,
And then the toilet, and that's it.
and then there's a
right?
shitter right there, and then the sink's over here.
Yeah.
What's
What
the
are you
deal
doing?
with that? Like, is
Yeah.
that just a one-person bathroom that they needed to put both on? 'Cause,
Well,
like,
that's what do you do in that situation? Because I wait until the person's done, and then I'll go in.
oh, I'm not going in there, like, to, like, pee while that person's shitting with no,
But
there's
I feel
no
like
door or nothing.
some
There's no
people
door.
would do that shit, though. I
No,
feel like
no one's
you don't
ever
think so.
done that. No.
I think so. I think people have walked in when somebody's sitting there shitting or something and just take a piss right next to them.
With no door, nothing around them?
Yeah.
No, that's never happened in mankind history.
That's definitely happened. Well, first of all, we got to talk about the design of this bathroom a little more because
it's a small cube. I think it's meant to be a one-person bathroom, but it's got a toilet and a fucking urinal right next to
Not
it. So my
even,
thing is like,
not even like a little divider. Not even a little
no,
divider.
no, 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 no. It's just an open room.
How many
There's a
places
sink.
have that? Because I can picture it with
I
a
saw it
little
at a gas
divider.
station that I was just at.
You did? Okay. Well, gas stations are weary anyway, because there's also like truckers going in there and
The only thing I can
fucking
think
each
of is
other.
like there's some like law or requirement because I think it was in like upstate New York or something like that. Maybe there's some law that you got to have a urinal and a fucking thing if it's a one person bathroom because
Oh.
there's no reason. You don't need
Hmm.
the if it's a one person bathroom, you don't need both because you could just bite the bullet like and sit down and pee.
Oh, what's your policy for night pissing? Do you just say fuck it, I'm gonna sit?
Oh, I sit down 24/7. Yeah, rest the legs.
And what's your policy for the morning wood?
Sit down.
For morning wood, I like. First of all, you have to wait a little bit because sometimes there are levels where it's not possible to like pee with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you wake up and you're full bore, there's no way. But like I'll wait until it's like 50 or 40% decreased, and then I'll do the old like take a few steps back and try to aim, and then you.
I'll give in some of my man card right now. I sit down like probably 77% of the time
On some regular
on
shit.
some regular shit. It's just comfier. Like it's just comfy.
I
I'm not
get
trying
to
to
sit
stand
down
up.
if you're tired and it's like the middle of the night and you just kind of like stumble in there and there's no lights and you're just like, okay, I'm just gonna sit. I can see that.
I mean, if I'm going to a sporting event or something like that, obviously I'm standing up. But like in my house, I'm gonna sit. Like I sit in my house probably. That it increases now to like
89% of the
no,
time.
like 96% of the time.
The comments are about to go in on you right now.
But, yo, let them
Bitch.
go in. They're
Well,
just wrong because
here's the
it's like
upside.
it's more comfy to sit down.
It's not even that it's just more comfy. It's also cleaner because if you're pissing
Yeah.
standing up like me, then you're gonna get like it just happens that you're gonna get the sprinkles are just gonna get out of the toilet. There's no denying that. Like that's
And
gonna happen.
if you've got the time in your house, like if I'm in a rush, maybe I'll stand up, which is that 4%. But usually, if I'm in my house, I'm chilling. I'm just like I'll sit on I'll pull up my phone. I'll just chill.
For a piss though,
Yeah, fuck it.
how long do you piss for if you're whipping out your phone?
Well, no, I piss for like 2 seconds, but then it's just time to chill. Like
Then
that's
you're just sitting there.
yeah. You don't find a lot of times where you can just sit down and just sit down. So if you have to pee, turn it into like a little thing.
That's so funny. That's so funny. I couldn't be more opposite. I'm just like I piss, and sometimes I start the flush. Like I try to time the flush.
Oh, really?
I'll time the flush with the end of the pissing, and sometimes I'll flush it, and then it's like I'm still pissing when it's done flushing, and I'm like, fuck, I mistimed it.
Why wouldn't you just wait?
I don't know, because I'm the opposite. I'm just in and out quick. I'm just like, I'm just going to flush it now, and then it'll keep going, and I'm like, I fucked up. I shouldn't have flushed it yet.
I used to have a shower that when I would shower, because we had, I don't know, I think like 4 or 5 of us living in an apartment, and one person would shower, one person would use the bathroom, and when it flushed, it made the fucking shower burning hot. And my sister and brother always used to pull that shit to like fucking burn me. Or
Oh
like
my
they would
God.
forget, they would like flush the toilet, and you don't know when they're gonna flush the toilet, and that shit would just be like, boom, and I'd be like, oh fuck, you gotta warn me.
That shit happens, I think, with a lot, right? With a lot of showers. Like, that happens for whatever reason. I guess the pipes are, like, linked or some shit.
Yeah, I'm very particular on what type of shower head I need. Like, if your shit is not fucking sprinkling right, I'm gonna be a little tight. Like, if I go to a hotel and the shit is just like dropping,
The weak-ass showers, those are a problem, man. Like,
I
the
need
drop,
I need
drop,
some
drop
water power.
type shit. Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. I mean,
We went to I think it was either DR or Colombia, and the water is just hit or miss. Like if when you shower, so like the shit could be streaming nice, and then all of a sudden, literally, it's like, boop,
Oh, no.
boop. So I'm chilling with the thing, and then it like just drops to one of its boop boops, and I'm like, having to try to do it under that water was miserable. And people fucking live like that. I guess there's
Yeah.
people that don't even fucking shower at all. So I guess
Well,
if you have a fucking drop of water, it's a little better.
but we were talking about how there are water warnings for all these different places because the water levels are low. Like
What do you mean, like the Flint, Michigan shit?
no, like I'm no, that's like the water has a serious problem like with
Oh,
lead and
oh,
shit.
oh.
But I'm talking about like in the Southwest where because of drought, they'll just be like warning, don't take short showers or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, San Diego had that when I was out there. I was like, fuck
Did
that.
they
I don't
have
live
that in
here. I'm gonna take a
L.A.
diesel
when
ass
we were
shower.
there? Did I don't feel
Uh-uh.
like I saw any signs that said anything in L.A.
No, no, I don't think so. But
Because I
like,
think the
there's
drought
probably
had just
something.
ended when we went.
Yeah,
Like
but
a
they're
little,
probably still always like
yeah, like
cautious of that shit.
be cautious, yeah. Because there's that place I forget. Oh, is it Cape Town, South Africa? Yeah, there's like that place is done. Like the water's gone. It's like they're doing a countdown clock to day zero, which is like the day that there's no more water there. A
Really?
big fucking city in South Africa. It's a
That's
serious
crazy.
problem. They have literal water gangs now where people import water and then sell it on the black market.
That's wild.
It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, when
Meanwhile,
I
I'm
was in
over here
Sandy,
in New York with like an endless fucking stream.
you'd be a fucking king out there.
Yeah. When I was younger, I used to take the diesel ass showers.
Same,
My dad used to yell at me because I would stay
same.
in there for like 25, 30 minutes. He'd be like, what the
That water bill
fuck?
adds the fuck up. Now that I have a house, like I notice, like, and we clean all these bottles for the baby, and the water is just running. That shit adds the fuck up. But yeah, when we were in San Diego, like it was one of those water like restriction things. And I remember we were like driving down the street, or we went to a Padres game, and like they had this huge water fountain thing, and they couldn't run it. And they were talking about when the All-Star game was there, it was like the only time they were allowed to turn it on because it
Wow.
like so everything was like dried up. But then I think we walked by like a Johnny Rockets, and they had all their water still go. Like they had these sprinkler systems going. I was like, yeah, fuck them, man. Like,
Well, they give you like a tax deduction if you put a fake lawn in. If you do a fake lawn, they give you like a tax break because they
oh
want to
really?
incentivize people. Yeah, because you waste a lot of fucking water like watering your lawn. People with the sprinkler systems and shit. Like that's a waste just for grass. You're going to fucking use
Yeah.
the water. So when you put in like a fake grass, they hook you up.
It's crazy the shit that they'll give you money for. I know, like, my wife wasn't looking into it, but someone had told her that because she has a lot of like breast milk, that like she could donate her breast milk in New York, not in Illinois, but like they're give like $9 an ounce or something like that, like something absurd.
Do they sell it?
They give it to people who don't like. I guess people like who can't produce breast milk buy that shit.
Because they want their babies to have breast milk.
Yeah, breast milk is a lot better than like formula.
Can we reflect on how weird it is that milk can come out of female titties?
Yeah, it's a little strange.
Milk, it just comes out of their titties.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I mean, that's like,
It's
what?
it's sort of weird to think that like you're allowed to have like a baby like suck on your titties. Like, isn't that some like pedophilia shit? Like, can't women have pedophilia? What is that weird?
No,
Like,
because that's feeding the baby, basically. That's
yeah,
all
yeah,
that
because
is.
that's what it is in our society.
But
But like,
I wonder if those are the babies that grow up to be like, that to like tits. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I was ever breastfed, and I'm an ass man. And that might explain it. Maybe if I sucked on my mom's tit when I was a baby, I'd grow up and I'd be all about tits.
that'd be a great survey to figure that out.
I'm saying it might have something to do with it. Who knows?
I think I was breastfed, and I think I prefer. Nah, I don't know. I like both.
Yeah, you probably like to. Yeah, I mean, I would be curious to see, if people who were breastfed turns
Have
out
a
that
more
they
like
like
attraction towards breasts.
boobs more. Yeah, because I was not breastfed. I don't think I was. I'm pretty sure I wasn't.
You had to have been.
No, I don't think I was. I don't think
Really?
I was. I mean, I'll ask. What a weird question that I'll ask my mom the next time I see her. I'll be like, so anyway, did I ever suck on your titties?
Oh my god, yeah, it is fucking strange. It's a strange concept. Like,
I don't think I was. I don't think I was. And I'd never have been a tit guy.
that's why it's like all this shit. I mean, like, my wife listens to the fucking podcast. She's gonna ream me out, but it's just like there's so much shit that it's just like, oh well, they say breast milk is better for the kid's development
Well,
and
I'm
the
just gonna
formula
guess
this
here
and
for a
that.
second. I think that that's true, knowing nothing about it. And the reason I think
It's got to
that
be true, but there's kids like you that like you're fine, you're smart,
am I?
you know all the no, but
Am I
like
fine?
I'm sure the numbers way more in favor of people who are breastfed than people who have formula, you know, but it's just like there's still plenty of people that weren't breastfed that are fine, you know, so it's like all the little shit that like it's like people worry about is like you'll be fine.
Think about the fact that we drink milk from a cow, like a giant fucking beast that just stinks and sits there all day and farts and
Yeah.
shits. And somebody looked at the udders and they were like, yo, let's drink whatever comes out of that. Who would do that?
Yeah, like why don't we drink duck piss or something like that?
I mean, the concept is equally as bizarre. Sucking or drinking the shit that comes out of those little fucking cow teats that you get like this.
You ever milk a cow?
No. What kind of a question is
I
that?
knew the answer was no, but like people do that shit.
Oh, on my farm, I go milk cows. I don't have a fucking farm,
I don't know,
bro.
maybe when you were like 8, you went to like a fucking like farm camp or something.
No,
like,
that actually is like I have
it's like a
been
valid
upstate.
question. I'm sure some people have
Yeah,
done
yeah,
it.
yeah. I have been upstate. I mean, a lot of people don't know. When I was a kid, I actually shot guns. When I was a kid, when I was like a fucking teenager.
Well, I knew you were like into. Well, your father was into hunting.
My dad was into hunting, so I only went hunting once, I think, and we didn't get anything.
I don't get the concept of hunting. I just like seeing people. I mean, like good hunters, yes, I understand, but I've seen some bad hunters that just put on all the camouflage. Are animals really confused when they see a fucking human in some camouflage?
Well, usually when you're hunting, you're not moving. Like or at least that's what it was like for us. You pick a spot, you stay there, and then you wait for them to come to you.
Now, let me ask: is that shit? Because I've gone fishing. I've never gone hunting. What else have I done that I think is like no fun? Like fishing to me, I don't enjoy. I could see more in fishing because you sit there, you drink a beer, you're talking with your friends. But hunting to me, you could sit there the whole day, right, and not fucking see a deer.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I only went once, and we didn't get anything. And in retrospect, I'm happy we didn't get anything.
What do you think the thrill of it is? Like that one moment if you do see a deer?
I don't know what the thrill of it is, but I do know the thrill of guns because, like I
Oh,
said,
yeah.
when I was younger, I would target practice, and I had so much fun doing target practice. Now, thankfully, I mean, my dad was responsible-ish with me. I say ish because if you're having a teenager shoot guns in the first place, not that responsible. But he taught me the safety and everything, and he was very careful about all that stuff, and like everything was by the book in terms of doing it the right way with the proper etiquette and the good safety measures and stuff. But like, so we would, fill up a bunch of old Clorox bottles with water, put it way out in the distance, and then you shoot through the scope. And I remember just enjoying that a lot. So I got the appeal of guns. I didn't get the appeal of the hunting thing, though. I didn't get that. And yeah, you're right. You literally sit and wait all day, and then they don't fucking come. And I've told the story on the show before. And it was deer, by the way. That's what we were hunting. When we went out there, it is so early in the morning that you go. It's fucking annoying and ridiculous. But it was like we sat there from like 6 o'clock in the morning, and probably like an hour and a half later, my dad's like, "Okay, let's switch spots." I had been sitting. It's really cold out. It was probably like 30-something degrees. I had been sitting on my legs. And I couldn't move them when he said it's time to leave. I'm not kidding.
Are
I
you
couldn't
sitting
move
like
them.
Indian seated?
No,
Like,
not Indian, but like
On your
sitting on
knees?
my feet. Yeah, like on my knees type thing. You
So
see,
you like you? I really am just trying to get the concept. Like you're just on your knees for like an hour, just like
not like that. Sitting back. Imagine on your knees and put your butt on the top of your heels, like something like that.
okay.
I was sitting kind of like that.
And your gun's to your side, and like you can't talk, right? You can't
Yep,
drink a
nothing.
beer and chill, like listen to
Nothing.
music.
Nope,
Like-
nothing. You just got to sit there quietly. It's stupid. I didn't enjoy it at all. I didn't enjoy it at all.
Yeah, to me, like if you just told somebody that, like if hunting was never a thing, you're just like, hey, we're
back
gonna
in the
go to
day,
the woods.
they did it to eat. Like you needed
Yeah,
to
no,
eat.
that I get.
Yeah.
But just waiting to find the animals is just It's just a weird concept to me.
No,
But
yeah,
no, people love it. I'm not shitting on it. I sort of am.
no. If somebody does it because they eat the meat, I mean that's way better than factory farming where they fucking torture the animals before they kill them
Yeah, for
systematically.
sure. Like someone like Joe Rogan, when he's going out, he's going with professional hunters that like they're gonna guarantee see some shit.
Yeah, and he eats the meat too.
Yes, but like these people in like New York or something like that. Like I know some people that go out hunting every weekend or it's hunting season.
Really? Well, hunting season is that's another thing that's interesting. It is a very short period of time.
Oh,
Like,
really?
Very short. Hunting period, they only allow it for like, I don't even know how long it was, 2 weeks or something like that of the
Like
year.
the time you should go hunting is like on the fucking highway at like 9, 10 o'clock at night because I see so many deer on the side of the road. Just fucking drive your car,
Literally.
pull up, fucking shoot all those motherfuckers if you want to.
Yeah, that's how lazy old rich people do it. They're just like, I got a gun, I want to kill something. And you just
Do
drive.
people hunt like that and they just drive and find them on the side of the road?
Yeah, like old dudes who are like, fuck this, let's just go kill shit.
That's what hunting should be. It's not sit in the middle of the woods
Some
and
people
wait
do
for
it
them
like
to
that.
chill.
My dad liked to do it the real way, which was a fucking pain in the ass. But in retrospect, I'm happy because I didn't kill anything. I don't think I would have. I wouldn't have liked it. I don't think. You know.
No, I don't think I would like that feeling either.
No. I mean, we would have eaten it in our defense, but yeah, I'm just happy I didn't do it. In my old basement, you know this.
Mm-hmm.
It tell everybody what was on the walls in my old basement.
Fucking big ass deer heads.
And what it wasn't just deer. There was also a bear. My dad had killed a bear. You know.
Yeah, I don't remember. There was a whole bunch
Elk.
of shit.
He killed an elk. He hunted most of his life.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, like, but he was really good at it. Like, and that was something he enjoyed. But like for people who are mediocre, maybe it's time to give that shit up.
No, my dad wasn't good at it, I wouldn't say.
You don't think so?
No, because I mean, a lot of them
His
he
name
was with
Buck,
pros,
right? Or was his nickname Buck for hunting?
Well, his name was Albert, but
Yeah, but Buck
when he was
like,
born, they gave him the nickname Buck, and
I thought Buck had some shit with hunting. Like
it did. Like his dad named him Buck or something like that. Like
yeah, so you know he's nice if his fucking nickname is regarded around some shit that he does.
No, he gave him that when he was born. He gave him that nickname.
Oh, so it wasn't.
Yeah, it
because
wasn't
he was
like, oh, he killed a deer, and then he was like, we're gonna call you Buck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was when he was born. It just stuck for whatever reason. Somebody was like, that's a nice buck right there, or something like that. And he was like, oh, okay. Or a nice young buck or something like that.
I always thought that shit
Young
was like
Buck, the rapper. My dad's named after the rapper Young Buck. Yeah, so.
I don't know. Not a fan of hunting. Not a fan of fishing. Fuck all those sports. Play some basketball. Play some baseball.
I used to like fishing. I don't like it anymore. Actually,
I don't like being on a boat.
That's all. Well, that's what I was just about to say. It might be a lie that I don't like fishing. I don't like being on a boat. That I do not like. But maybe I would enjoy fishing if I could do it not on a boat. If I could
like if you.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, if I was on a lake or something like that.
Yeah,
or
on a
like
lake
just
and
sitting on
fishing
a
for
dock.
like trout or some shit, you know, or catfish.
I still am not a fan of that shit because you got to touch some nasty ass.
Oh yeah, I don't want to touch the nasty ass shit. I want to have somebody with me to do all that, and I'll just do the lazy fucking reel it in.
I went out for my boys' bachelor party and they were all fishing, and like one of the things you have to do is put like the bait or whatever on your rod.
Is it chum?
It was like chum.
It was like chopped up fish, right?
Yeah.
That's chum. It's disgusting.
And they're all just grabbing it in the bucket and putting it on. There was
And
one
you're
dude
like,
like on our
"Ew."
boat, doing like the boat spin, and I was like, "Yo, can you hook my shit up?" And every time I would just throw it in the water, it would come off, and then I would get nothing, pull it
So
back, and he would
funny.
put it on again. He was tight at me because
Yeah.
they were using like good shit.
Yeah, that's the you got to be deep in the world of fishing to bust out the chum. I mean, usually you could just use a lure, which is like a rubber thing that looks like a little fish.
Yeah.
And that's easier. You don't get your hands dirty and shit.
I don't get how people catch those fucking huge ass things though. Like when you see pictures of like guys holding like these monstrosities.
I've caught some giant fish because
Really?
when I was a kid, my dad had this little fishing boat, and we go fishing, and I used to like it. This is back when I didn't get sick from going on the water, but yeah, I got stripers, striped bass, and they were gigantic. There's a picture of me. In fact, should I show everybody? I have it right here. Let me go grab it.
What the fuck? Right.
There's
right next to you?
there's a picture of me with my dad on the boat when I'm a kid, and I'm holding this fish, and it's a pretty fucking big fish, man.
Just tweet that shit.
Entertain everybody for like 8 seconds.
Hey everybody.
Dance for them.
I was never a good dancer. I'm fucking bad at dancing. Every time we go to like Dominican Republic or something like that, my brother's really good at dancing, and they just do it as like a cultural thing out there. Just dance, dance, dance.
Okay, I'm
I
back.
try to
Wait,
get up there, and I
were you
just
talking to me or them?
embarrass myself. I'm talking to the microphone.
Okay, I got the picture. Hold on. Let me pull this up. Pull this up. Pull that up. Pull my balls out.
Pull my dick pics away.
Can you see that? Can you see that well?
Oh, that's gangster. You caught that shit?
Big, right? Isn't that big?
That's huge.
Look at how nerdy I am, and then look at how nerdy he is. We're both very
How does
nerdy.
your hand on your bottom sort of looks like a foot?
That is a foot.
No.
No, I know it's not.
Oh,
Isn't that a funny picture? But that's
awesome.
a pretty big
That's
fish,
awesome
right?
picture. You caught that shit?
Yeah, I caught that.
You had to have assistance. Like your dad
No.
must.
No,
put
I caught that.
Cigar. That's
Nope.
impressive.
And that actually was not the biggest one of the day either. I was with my friend, who I'm still friends with to this day.
Mhm.
And I caught that one first, and then like 20, 30 minutes later, he caught one that was like 25% bigger than this. And
Damn.
I was a little jealous. I was like, that's kind of fucked up. Like, I just caught a really nice fish,
That
and
is
then
some
you just
big
fucking
shit.
stood
Like,
me up on some,
yeah.
like, I beat you shit.
damn. Yeah. Usually, like when you get some shit like that, like I even saw it with the kids who I was fishing with, and they were big dudes. Like when they would get something semi-diesel,
Uh-huh.
like someone would come over and be like,
Well, it depends.
Okay, yeah, here we go.
Some fish are actually stronger than others. Like, so that's striped bass. I always love fishing for them. But there were times we went for bluefish. Bluefish are smaller than striped bass, but they fight like double as hard.
Oh,
So the
okay.
striped bass are big, but they're just not as strong. The bluefish are smaller, but it's almost like they're all muscle. Like they give you a serious fight.
Yeah, if I was a fish, I would definitely not put up a fight at all. I would be the bitchiest fish. Like if someone caught me, I would just be like, "You got it, let's go,
I
take
have
me
a
in."
feeling I'd be like that too.
Like there's some people you can tell you'd be like, if you were a fish, you would fucking put up in a fucking annoying ass fight. But like if someone got me, they put some like fucking banging ass food on some shit, and I really thought it was like hanging there. That's on me that I fucked up. I should know that food is just not going to be floating in the air like that.
I always wondered how, like, I would always think there's no way we're ever going to catch anything when I go fishing because I'm like, I got this little fucking rubber thing that looks like a fucking fake fish, and I'm going to put it in the water, and a fish is going to find this in this vast fucking, like,
Yeah, but there's so many fish.
body of water. Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's what it is, but I just thought, like, there's no way we're ever going to catch anything. But then we would catch something most times.
Yeah, I mean, you drive out to a spot that has mad fish. I once, in my dream, and I remember this dream, I try to reach for a floating root beer can. So if I reach for that shit, I'm reaching for some fucking chum or whatever if I'm a fish.
So that's what it's like. That's what Corin would be like if he was getting fished by some like alien. They just have to dangle a root beer in front of him, and he's like, yes.
Yeah, for real. Like when I was fishing, I think I caught one like whack fish, and I was hyped because it was like a small little thing, and the guy was like, "Yeah, that's the easiest one to catch." That would be my shit. Like if you don't know how to fish and you went out with your boys because they're all fishing, and you were just there, you're gonna catch me.
I had gone shark fishing once, but I slept through the whole thing. Yeah.
People catch sharks,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We
and that shit doesn't bite them or whatever when they fucking pull them out of the water.
no, because they're not. You probably have a perception of sharks like Jaws, like fucking giant
Yeah.
30-foot fucking beasts. We were going for what's it called? I think it's called a mako shark. So it's like smaller, but it's still big. It's huge. But I was so excited that the night before I didn't end up sleeping at all, and then we got out on the boat and I wasn't feeling great. And I was really tired, and I literally slept through the whole fucking thing. Even when they were catching one, they were like, "Kyle, wake up, come see the." And I was like, "Fuck off."
There's some shit if you're just too tired. Like I fucking in high school, there was this girl I liked. I think it was like 11th grade, and I'd been trying to chill with her for mad long. And one night, I think I just like did my usual shit. I came home. I had like 4 bags of chips and a soda and would just lay in bed and watch TV. and I conked out, and no, I didn't set an alarm, but like earlier in the day, they were like, yeah, we might go play like soccer late at night or some shit. And she had never texted me, and I had like 3 barbecue chips. I used to get sour cream and onion barbecue. I housed those shits, drank a soda, and would just lay in bed and watch TV. And I passed the fuck out, and it was like one of those good passed out. And I woke up at like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. I had like 2 missed calls from her and like a text like, "Where are you? We're all playing." And I was like, "Fuck." I was tight because it was the only time that she fucking texted me.
I've always had sleep problems. Well, no, you're not like me anymore, but we were always semi-nocturnal. I mean, that's how I always was. High school.
Nocturnal is what? Through the
Nocturnal's when you're awake at night, but I mean like
Oh,
semi-nocturnal in that I always fell asleep really late and woke up kind of late.
yeah. I would always. I mean, I could stay up late, but I'm normally good with like if I hear something, I could wake up. It has to be some like I'm really tired or like I ate some
Yeah,
fucking like
I'm not
earlier
like
today.
that. Once I'm
I've been
out,
good.
I'm out.
Yeah, yeah. You could. I think have known you for like if you're passed out, like my phone can ring or some shit. You're good. Like you're still sleeping.
I'm out. Totally
But
out.
there's people that like my stepfather. If you fucking drop some shit, it's he's up.
He's up. Yeah.
And my shit is a little bit more like you got to give me maybe a shake or some shit like that, and I'll get up. Or if I hear the phone ring, maybe I'll get it. But like earlier today, I had this plate of Chinese food, and like I was gonna send you a picture, but I
What'd you
just
get?
wanted. Yesterday I got boneless spare ribs,
Oh,
beef lo mein, no vegetables, so
oh,
just white rice,
oh.
and I had leftovers today, and it was sort of like a diesel amount, and the plate was like stacked high, and I was just looking at it, and I was like, one, I'm gonna eat all this. Two, it's gonna be all inside of my like this plate is gonna be inside of my body, which is I was a little like shook about that because it was a lot
Yeah.
of it was just like fucking piled
Yeah,
on.
I know exactly. I have a mental picture of what you're talking
And
about.
then three, I was like, I'm gonna fucking pass out and be one of those pass out. So like I'm here with my daughter and like she's like awake. I'm trying to put her to sleep, and I was like, I need to put her to sleep because I need like I feel this shit
You want to
coming.
fall asleep before her?
Yeah. There's those sleeps though, like that when you fucking house like some diesel ass
Oh
meal
yeah.
or some like you had White Castle the other day, like
There's
you,
no
you had
fighting
to have
it.
slept good.
There's no
Yeah.
fighting it.
No.
It just hits you when you're like, oh, I'm like, I can't win. I can't win this. Like that's it. I'm gonna knock out.
Yep.
But I actually like that. I like when you fall asleep and like your body's almost not even giving you a choice. It's just like, bitch, fall asleep.
Hmm.
Because for a long time, especially when I was younger, I didn't have that where like I had to stop and try to get myself to fall asleep. And it
Hmm.
was always like an issue to try to make myself do it. But now, thankfully, I could fall asleep a little better where my body like tells me naturally at a certain time, like, okay, it's like you're gonna fall asleep, even if you're
Hmm.
trying to fucking watch something on YouTube or whatever. So I like that, and there are people who don't know either one of those things. Like, there are definitely people who have to force themselves every night to try to sleep, and there's
Yeah.
also definitely people who it's the opposite. They fall asleep easy every night. You know what I mean? Like the second you lay down, fucking shut your eyes, you're just out skis.
Yeah, I'm sort of like that, and I feel for the people that I feel for the people that can't fall asleep, and I sort of don't understand that because it's never happened to me, but that shit's gotta suck.
I mean,
Like
imagine it like this. How do you feel right when you have like caffeine or fucking Red Bull or some shit?
I'm still sort of good. Like that
You're
shit
still
doesn't
good?
really. Yeah, I could still probably fall asleep even if I drank some coffee or
Damn.
something like that.
So you're good. You
But
have control of your consciousness pretty good because there's a lot of people who really struggle with that. Like
yeah,
they just can't do it. They can't fall asleep. There's a lot of insomniacs out there.
it's just like I tell like you just close your eyes and it's just like it's just
No,
not
it's
nothing
not that
happening.
easy, man. It's not. At least, even for me now, it's probably 60% of the time I will just naturally like fall asleep. But sometimes it's 40% of the time it's like, okay, I'm gonna try to now, and you close your eyes and it still takes you a while.
Yeah,
You
yeah. I
know?
mean that's happened to me times too. The worst is, I mean, that happens with people going to the bathroom. I know I know people that tell me that like they're like you eat something and you could just like shit it out right away. And I'm like, yeah, it's just good money. They're like, yeah, not me. Like people who struggle to go to the bathroom, I feel for them even more than people who probably can't
Oh, I
sleep.
thought you were saying the opposite, that people like can't control their fucking bowels and they'll like shit themselves.
No, the opposite, where it's just like people can't
Oh,
like
like it'll
shit.
take them a while in between.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
I
like
just
that. I can't like eat it and then just shit it out right away.
really no. I
Yeah,
eat some
no.
shit, and it's just like
I'm in the middle of the
like
pack because I know people who go hell of a lot longer than I do
yeah.
in between shitting.
I
Like,
mean, if you have like if you're eating some Chipotle, that shit's gonna come right the fuck through you.
no, not like I've never. It's funny because every time people talk about Taco Bell, is like, oh, like the joke is like, yeah, you're gonna shit yourself or whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
and that now is the joke with Chipotle too. But I never had that problem. Like I would eat it and then it would just it would be normal, like I ate anything else.
Oh, really?
Like I actually think it might be more of a struggle for you guys too, the ones who are like quick with it, because then sometimes you're like, if it
I
goes
know
right
it's
through
coming
you,
on. Yeah.
it goes right through you. You know what I mean? Like, and there's people at the other end of the spectrum where I know weak shitters, like literally will go a week and then shit, like literally.
Yeah,
which is,
that's a long fucking
no,
time.
that is crazy because those last like 3 days, you must be like, fuck.
Yeah.
You
Like
must feel like
if
shit.
I have corn, I know that shit's coming out tomorrow. Like like if I swallow my bubble gum, I'm gonna see it the next
you
day.
can
Like
fucking track it.
yeah, I have a good. I'll give whoever created my body a good I'll give them a B plus A, because like the shit is working right, and I'm just fucking it up with like all that skin cancer shit. So like I really got to fuck my shit up to do something bad.
And
It's like when I had that little scar, I was like, this might be some shit. But then like I think it was like 3 weeks later, it went away, and it was like, all right, you fought it off this time, but sometime we're gonna get you. Someday we're gonna get you.
damn, now you got me thinking about random shitting fucking stories. We'll abandon.
Oh, it was like 2 months ago. I almost went to town in my pants.
Damn, that's the worst, man.
And
Thankfully, I
actually
haven't
went to
had that
Starbucks.
many situations
Nobody
like
fucked
that
me.
where it's like a close call to shit yourself.
Yeah, it's probably like less than 4 times in my whole life. But like I don't know, I must have ate something poisonous.
But sometimes you do get that feeling in your stomach where it's like, oh
Yeah.
no, like there's pain there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad. It's not a good feeling, I'll tell you that much. But
But then once you're done, you're like, yes.
once you're done, yeah.
Yeah, that's a fucking. You feel like Rocky when he runs up the stairs and the music's playing. He's like, yeah, Adrian, whatever the fuck he says.
Oh,
So, one more thing I wanted to ask you, then we'll wrap it up because I'm fucking tired. You probably are too.
hell yeah.
So I do big temperature changes. Like, let's say you're outside all day and it's like 80 degrees or 85 degrees. Let's go nuts with that. And then you're inside.
Did you say 80 and then you said 85 degrees and try to say that was like a big drastic change?
Yeah. I said, let's go nuts with
Like,
it.
let's go
85.
outside. It's like 80 degrees. Nah, fuck that. I'm going to change your whole fucking world right now.
85.
It's 85 degrees. Okay, so that changes things.
Well, 85 does feel a lot hotter than 80. I could have said 90 though, but whatever. Let's say you're outside and it's like that, and then you go into like a 70 degree shit.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that makes people sick? The big swings in temperature?
Yeah, definitely.
It does. Okay, because when I was a
Yeah.
kid, my mom used to tell me, and I would be like, okay, maybe there's something to this, maybe there's not. But then that happened to me recently, where like I was outside and it was really hot, probably like 87, and then I came inside.
I love your temperature gauge.
I'm looking at
So not that hot is 80. Really hot is 85.
and then crazy is 87.
87 is like that shit. You don't want to be out. You're like,
That's
be
the
careful
worst, man.
going outside. If
Humid
it's
as a
87.
bitch too. It's bad out there. But like, and then I would go inside, and like, I think it got me sick. Like, because I was sweating, and then I was inside, and then I cooled off while still all gross and sweaty. And then
Yeah,
I hopped
you're
in the shower, where you go back into the shower, I'm sure, because I don't ever really take cool showers, so it was kind of like a warm shower. So I'm all over the place with temperatures, you know what I'm saying? Like, really high to fucking low to like mid. I
mean, I think it has to be more of a a longer period than that shit. Actually, no. I think in a quick period you can probably get
Well,
like a little sniffle if you change it up drastically
and
like that.
that's what I'm saying. It probably depends on how extreme the difference is too, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Like if let's just if you're going from like 50 degrees to
Oh.
90 degrees to 50 degrees,
Oh yeah.
that's like, did you, and why that, and the question I was going to ask you is why the fuck do you think that is? Like, I don't get it. Logically, that makes no sense to me. Like,
Because you're like shocking your body system. It's like, dude, choose one. Like we gotta adapt to that shit.
but I don't get why that would lead to being sick. Like, wouldn't your body just be like, okay, I've experienced this before
Because it's
when
like a
it's
fucking
warm?
malfunction. It's like something's happening where it's like, wah, 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 wah.
Because people use that, like people use a sauna all the fucking time, and that helps
Yeah.
them with shit, sweat out like toxins or whatever the fuck. And then people use, now they got the opposite, the cryotherapy or whatever it's called,
Yeah,
where they go
yeah,
into the
super
freezing
cold.
cold shit. And it's like, they don't. Do people get sick when they go in that and then just go about their day? I mean, I don't know. It's weird, but I felt
I feel like those are two drastic temperatures that like maybe beyond us like an extreme point. You're going in a sauna that shit's like 120, 130 degrees, where it almost shocks your body so fast that it maybe doesn't affect you. The same thing with that cold shit, where it's like, I don't fucking know, man.
Because I'm saying when I was in that really hot weather and it was really humid and there was like no wind, it felt like I was in a sauna. And then
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is probably like good for me. And then when I went inside and it was cooler, and then like 2 or 3 days later, I feel a little sick. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I mean, your immune system definitely, like, I don't get sick often, but I took a flight on Sunday and I was just super tired and my immune system was probably lower than what it normally was because I was tired. So like someone sneezing, someone sick next to me, I definitely had a better chance of getting sick then than I would if I was like, my normal self would sleep
Yeah.
in and just being good and shit like that. Which also fuck people on flights and restaurants and all this shit who are sick and they get you sick because it's almost like they're not taking care of themselves and you're just a fucking bystander to get sick because they fucked up.
Yeah, I'm a big advocate of do the right thing in terms of when you're sick, don't fucking go out and like
Yeah.
go to work, like stay home. It's not just about you, it's about them. It's about everybody else. If you're in that phase where you're contagious and shit, don't do it.
So this lady had to fly obviously, but she was like a younger girl, 20 something. But she came and sat next to me and she was like blowing her nose OD with the
Ooh.
tissues and sneezing and just like phlegmy.
And it's all in the airplane?
Oh, well, she sat next to me in the terminal shit.
Okay. That's not as bad, thankfully.
No,
If it was
no,
on a
no, no.
flight, you're definitely getting sick.
But she's on my flight. So I'm
Okay.
thinking
Oh,
because you fucked up, because you didn't wear a jacket, because you didn't fucking, you were hooking up with some dude who was sick and you were hooking up with another dude who was sick, because you did all that shit. Now I'm going to get fucking sick because of you. Like I'm over here taking care of my shit. I'm good. But because you sat next to me in the airport terminal and you were fucking up, now I got to fuck up because of you?
that's why an epidemic is definitely going to wipe out. Like, it's going to, like the Black Plague. The Black Plague happened and like half the world's population was killed. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
maybe even more than that. I don't know the exact number. But that shit is going to happen again. Like
think
we're
so.
we're just one epidemic away, and there's going to be some that you can't do shit about it because it's a virus. It's not.
That's why, like, you always hear these stories of people who go to like these weird fucking third world countries trying to save the world. They come back with some crazy disease, and it starts spreading to other people. Like, don't be a fucking idiot. Like, if you're
Didn't that
OD
happen
sick
recently?
like
Was it with Ebola? Yeah, Ebola. There was an Ebola outbreak not that long ago, right?
I think so. Yeah,
Like maybe 2015 or some shit.
yeah. Someone went to. It was like somewhere in South Africa or some shit. Or
There was
something
some
like that.
Ebola outbreak. Yeah, that's so crazy that there's a disease out there that exists that just like.
There's just too many people in the world to like for someone not to get some shit and not tell anybody about it, and then like them cough on someone and then they get it, and like you said, that shit's gonna spread to the whole fucking world.
Did you see that? I I retweeted a video. It was from CNN. I forget where they were. It might have been in Africa somewhere, where like a little comet at
I
night
didn't see it.
came in and like it mostly disintegrated before it hit the ground. But it was like, it wasn't that big, and it got really far down before it disintegrated. So, like,
shit.
I tweeted something like, imagine one like a mile big just hitting. Like, we wouldn't see it coming, and it would just hit us.
Did you ever see, there's like these crazy videos of, I think it was in like Russia or some shit like that.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That shit.
Like that shit was in the sky.
It
and
fucking
it was like
blew out glass miles away. Because it just it's like a giant bomb just fucking blowing up. It's
That's
scary,
why.
man. And one of those could hit us at any moment.
You know what else is scary is, did you see the video of, I think it was like Guatemala or something like that, that volcano that erupted or something?
I didn't see the video, no, but people are killed, right?
I don't know what the after, I'm sure, but like the video is wild. It's just all this dark smoke, like just filling the air quickly. Like the video is crazy.
Okay, I'm gonna go watch that. That seems fucking scary.
That shit was super
I saw that
scary.
there were deaths. I saw the articles about that. I didn't see a video though. I'll go find the video.
I've just been big on seeing videos. I don't read the shit underneath it. So if you send me a video and it's funny, I'll just watch it and then not understand the context.
And on that note, all right, guys, we love you, and hopefully we'll be back next week. We'll see. All right, talk to you later, guys. Peace.